Welcome to the Innovation Conference. I'm Leon Sandler and I'm the Executive Director of the Deshpande Center for Technological Innovation here at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do here at the Deshpande Center and give you a view into innovation at MIT. And hopefully this will inspire you to build a robust innovation ecosystem in the Philippines. So, what do we do here at the Deshpande Center? Well, our mission is really about moving technologies from the labs at MIT out into the marketplace where they can have an impact in the world. We've been doing this for about 12 years now, and we have worked with 140 project teams. From those projects, about 30 have spun out into companies, and those companies have raised over $500 million in capital. And later on, I'll give you a few examples of the companies. Now, what's the process we go through, you may ask? Well, what we do here at the center is we give out grants to project teams at MIT. We also provide mentoring to those teams, and we try and help them move their technologies towards commercialization. All the work is done in the labs at MIT, so we're a virtual center, and the labs and departments do the work. And we like to think of our process at MIT as select, direct, and connect. So first, we select those teams and projects that we feel, with some help, will be able to move their technology to the point of commercialization. Then we provide direction. We help direct them towards the market. And we provide that using outside mentors who we call catalysts. So we have a lot of outside mentors who help direct the projects. And then we also connect these teams to resources. We connect them to the marketplace, to entrepreneurs, to investors, and to industries. Now, I'm an engineer, and engineers always think of problems and then how do we solve those problems. So if you looked at the Deshpande Center and you said, what's the problem that we're trying to solve here at the center? Well, here's what it is. On the one hand, you have academic research. So at the university, people are doing research. However, what we ultimately want is we want a product out here in the marketplace. But that product isn't going to be made at a university. The product has to be made in a commercial enterprise. And in order for that to happen, someone is going to have to invest quite a lot of money in the commercial enterprise to take this technology from the university and turn it into a product. And those investors who are going to make the investment, it could be a large company, it could be venture capitalists, it could be industry, the government, family and friends. There are two main things that they look at besides the team. And those things are the technology risk and the market risk. So the investors want to know that the technology risk is reasonable and that the market risk is reasonable. In other words, if they make this large investment, there is a reasonable chance that you can develop the product and have it work the way it should work, and that there will be a market for that product. So here are some of, just to give you a sense of the range of some of the technologies we've worked with. Some of our spin-outs are Ambri Corporation, which is developing a new liquid metal battery for storing electricity on the grid. Brontis Technologies has a dental scanner for precisely mapping teeth for creating prosthetics. Taris Biosystems has a drug delivery device which can deliver drug to the bladder for a variety of conditions. 1366 Technologies is making photovoltaic solar cells for the solar industry. Gradient is doing desalination of fracking water. This is the water that comes out of the ground when you produce natural gas and oil from fracking. And what they're able to do is really reclaim that water and get the salts out of it. ImmuneExcite is another one of our spin-outs that is developing an immunotherapy for cancer. So that's using the body's own immune system as a cancer vaccine. C2 Sense is a new spin-out that has an ethylene sensor which can sense the ripeness of fruit. And so this allows people in the food supply chain to really see how ripe the fruit is and make appropriate operational decisions, something which could be quite interesting in the Philippines. If you go to our website, you will see under the Portfolio tab a list of our spin-outs and links to all the pages of these spin-outs with more information. Now, at MIT, we sit in an innovation ecosystem. So the Deshpande Center does not sit alone. There are a variety of other organizations that we work with and collaborate with. There's an entrepreneurship center, a technology licensing office, a venture mentoring service, an industrial liaison program. So there's a whole cluster of organizations that work together in this ecosystem to really help commercialize all these technologies. So we've been doing this for just over a decade, and we've learned a number of lessons which you might find quite useful. The first is, although we're in the technology business, it's really all about the people. You have to have the right people. It's not the technology. The other thing is you want to take risk, but manage that risk. You cannot just do things that are conservative and safe. You have to try new things, take some risks. However, you make small bets initially, small investments. If those work out well, you increase the bet. So you want to manage the risk. Relationships are critical. You need to build a lot of bridges. Bridges to industry, bridges to your mentors, to entrepreneurs, and to investors. This is definitely a relationship business. And finally, you need very clear rules as to what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, and also transparency so everybody understands what's going on. Now, let me talk a little bit more about people, because as I mentioned earlier, people are very important. So what you want to be doing is developing, training, and educating people. And the types of people you need for innovation are T-shaped people. That's like the letter T. And so the body of the T, the part going down, is really their domain expertise. You need people who have deep domain expertise. So if you want to do something in biology, you really need to understand biology. If it's mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. But then you also want people who are broad, like the top of the T. They need to be able to look at other areas. They need to know about some of the other technical disciplines, about business, about markets. So you want to develop your people to be both deep and also broad. You need people who are problem solvers, people who like to solve problems, build things, and create things. And you also want people who are entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurs like to make things happen, and they can improvise and do a lot with very limited resources. So what is it you could do here in the Philippines? Well, at MIT, the work we do is really research-based innovation. It's pushing the cutting edge of technology. You want to take a step back from that and really do engineering-based innovation. So what you need to do is go and find some problems to solve, or your technology folks need to find some problems to solve. Maybe you can look locally at problems, they could be global problems. And then you engineer a solution using available technology. What technologies are available, maybe it just emerged, and go out and use those to develop solutions. And definitely, as you're going through that process, you want to clearly understand what are the market needs, what are the specifications that are going to be required for success. I would also say go and have a look at our website. Look at some of the videos in the About section on the website. There's some very interesting videos. In the Portfolio section, you can see our spin-outs. You can see case histories. And I would certainly, encourage you to go out and try and change the world. Enjoy the conference today, and even though I couldn't be there in person, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.